Elsewhere, the chairman of the Ondo State Public Complaints, Financial Crime and Anti-Corruption Commission Compliance, Justice Williams Akintoroye, has called for synergy among anti-corruption agencies. Justice Akintoroye made this call during a capacity-building workshop organized for local government officials, where he argued that unnecessary rivalry among anti-graft agencies is unhealthy. Senior reporter Ayodeji Moradio reports.
According to data released by the Transparency International, Nigeria is ranked 145th out of 180 countries in the Corruption Perception Index. The fight against corruption has been hampered by the inability of anti-graft agencies to tackle corruption head-on, with many public officers exposed to media trials rather than serious convictions. This issue, along with the need for anti-graft agencies to avoid mindless rivalry, formed the basis of discussion at this capacity-building workshop in Akure. The chairman of the Ondo State Public Complaints, Financial Crime and Anti-Corruption Commission Compliance, Justice Williams Akintoroye, noted that corruption has significantly contributed to Nigeria's underdevelopment.
I wish to assure the FCC in particular that the Ondo State Public Complaints, Financial Crime and Anti-Corruption Commission is committed to be a reference point not only to all the states in Nigeria, but to our sister federal agencies in terms of commitment to global best anti-corruption, preventive investigation and prosecution of offences.
Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa, represented at the event, said the workshop will afford all the local governments an opportunity to imbibe the right virtues.
Corruption has become so endemic in every strata of the economy of the country and social economy and political environment that it has almost become a household name.
Corruption has eaten deep into the country's system, and it requires the joint effort of you and I to tackle this monster. Let us hope that this workshop will not be a mere jamboree. Ayodeji Moradio, TVC News, Akure.
We have more stories coming up after this break. Stay with us. Food security and the Renewed Hope Initiative intends to catch the youth early so as to inculcate in them the love of agriculture and farming. She noted that with the club spread across various schools in Nigeria, it will create the understanding that farming is not just an occupation, but indeed a way of life. Earlier, in his remarks, Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, noted that this initiative will enhance the interest of the young in agriculture as a career. Wife of the Kwara State Governor, Dr. Olu Folake Abdulrazak, received samples of the items on behalf of other state governors' wives, as the club is to be replicated in the various states.
The aim of the Young Farmers Club Nigeria is to catch them young by making farming more appealing to our pupils and students. We are not just teaching them how to farm, we are also nurturing a generation that will transform our agricultural landscape, imbibe modern farming techniques, and ensure that Nigeria remains self-sufficient in food production.
Very few young people are interested in agriculture as a course and future career. It is therefore imperative that we should come up with initiatives such as this to encourage our teeming youth to embrace agriculture as a profession early in their life, therefore catching them young.
Minister of State Education Yusuf Tanko Sununu has assured Nigerians that the federal government will invest in entrepreneurship and technology skills for students by training and embracing technology as well as digital learning. This was disclosed at the annual general meeting for federal and unity colleges in Abuja. Mariam Mohammed reports.
This meeting between the federal government and principals of federal and unity colleges is to prefer sustainable solutions to the challenges faced in these schools. The Minister of State, Yusuf Tanko Sununu, shed light on why the federal government plans to encourage entrepreneurship and technology in schools.
Develop confidence and take calculated risks, as earlier mentioned. And entrepreneurship is not merely about starting business. It is about cultivating a mindset that embraces challenges. Perseveres through failures and continuously learn from experience. It's about instilling in our students the ability to identify opportunities.
Other stakeholders commented the initiative and committed to support it.
Improving funding of these schools by mobilizing private capital and multilateral donor funds, as well as alumni support on a sustainable basis.
As we gather here today, let us renew our commitment to the cause of education and to continue to nurture the future generations who will drive the social and economic transformation of our great nation.
The minister also talked about the federal government's plans to unbundle unity schools into basic schools.
It also allowed us to have more fun going into our basic education level, which is the basic foundation for learning. As of today, the money accruing to universal basic education is not being enjoyed by the federal unity colleges. But with unbundling and having the basic education component will be funded through UBEC, and then ministry also see how to continue to normal appropriation to fund the other secondary school component. It means more money will now be going at our basic and secondary school education. Unlike what is currently happening now, more money is going to tertiary education.
Both parties are optimistic that the outcome of this meeting will be implemented across the education sector. For Nigeria to solve the unemployment problem among its youths, the education sector is encouraged to imbibe the culture of entrepreneurs and technological skills in its curriculum so the nation can prepare the youths for the future. Mariam Mohammed, TVC News, Abuja.
A federal high court in Abuja has set aside an ex parte order which restrained the Independent National Electoral Commission from releasing the National Voter Register to the Kwara State Independent Electoral Commission for the purpose of conducting the September 21st local government elections in the state. The order issued on 29th July was vacated by Justice Peter Lifu on grounds that it has expired by the provisions of the law having lasted for more than 14 days. Celestina Area reports.
Justice Peter Lifu had on 29th July 2024 restrained INEC from releasing the National Voters Register to the Kwara State Independent Electoral Commission (KWASEC) for the purpose of conducting the September 21st local government elections in Kwara State. Justice Lifu issued orders while delivering a ruling in an ex parte application brought before him by the PDP and argued by Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Kehinde Ogumiju. Although KWASEC was restrained from taking any step on the planned election, its chairman had, in an alleged violation of the order, wrote 2 letters to political parties inviting them for peace meeting and another for submissions of names and photographs of their agents for the purpose of the election. The 2 letters signed by the SEC chairman was tendered by the PDP as exhibit in court to establish violations of court order and to justify contempt of the court. The judge dismissed the request on the ground that the contempt of court charge initiated against the electoral body chairman was not served on the comptenor as required by law. Justice Lifu held that since contempt charge is criminal charge, it ought to have been served personally on KWASEC chairman and not through any other party or person. In a ruling on the request by KWASEC for the lifting of the order, Justice Lifu agreed with Johnson Usman, a senior advocate of Nigeria, that the order ought to be set aside in line with the provisions of the law.
Order of the court, the chairman of KWASEC is no longer an alleged contemnor, and now the Kwara State Independent Electoral Commission now has a free hand to conduct the local government election, which it has scheduled for 21st September.
The grounds of the PDP brought before Justice Lifu was that the Kwara State electoral body was in contravention and in breach of violation of Section 9 of the Electoral Act. Celestina Area, TVC News, Abuja.